Hey guys, welcome to Moxie Gardens. My name is Mike Toomey. Today I wanted to walk you through a few things, but I wanted to introduce myself first. I put out a couple videos a few weeks back, maybe 10-12 days ago, and it was really just I was getting ready to go to a graduation and the yard just felt right. You ever had those moments? Well, I did, and I had that moment and it felt just right. So I was like, yeah, I'm gonna capture this moment really just for the winter time. And then I was like, wait, why don't I just post it? And the feedback and the views from that turned out great. I was like, wow, this is pretty cool. So I one thing led to another, and I did another one, and then I had a few comments from you folks, and I really do appreciate all the kind words you guys have said. It's truly amazing, and I know it's still in the infancy, and there's a few people watching and whatnot, but I really don't have anything to share with anyone else other than my family, and they kind of probably get bored with it all the time, but I am out here all the time, and I really don't have anyone to share it with. It's kind of just tucked away in a neighborhood here in Kansas, and I watch a lot of other videos and whatnot, and I just wanted to put a different spin on it and give a fresh or a different look to a garden. There's a lot of great people out there doing a lot of great things, and I thought, well, I feel like I'm doing pretty good myself, so why not share it with others? And perhaps you guys can take some ideas and put them in your yard, or maybe just gain some inspiration and do a few things. So with that being said, like I said, my name is Mike Toomey. I'll be hopefully giving you as many videos as I can. Sure, it gets old watching the same old bald guy every day, so I'll just see what you guys say, and that's how that'll go. But I am in Kansas, Zone 6A. I have to apologize. I am looking over this way. The family and I will come over here in the evening times or morning and have a cup of coffee or whatnot and feed the fish. Well, right now the fish can hear my voice and they are super active. They're waiting for me to feed them, I suppose. So, and that's why I came up on this deck. I really wanted to show you guys a different vantage point. I've gone over a few other videos and give you the east side and the front side of the property, and today I wanted to show you a different view. I do have several beds that we haven't even covered, but in due time. I kind of got caught up looking at this view when I got home, and I was like, why not share? So I'll see if this will come across good, but I just wanted to kind of give you a different view and introduce myself, and hope you subscribe, and I hope you like. And if you want to follow me on Instagram, my Instagram page is Moxie_Gardens. Moxie_Gardens. There you go. So anyways, with that being said, I'm going to flip the camera around and we'll take you on a little tour. And I'm going to kind of go over how this actually happened. When we moved here, I didn't actually have a plan. Like, everybody just plants a few trees, we plant a few shrubs, we call it good, we mow the grass, and we're just good neighbors. But when we bought this house, we didn't know that it was going to be kind of a swamp back here. So we had our first initial rain, and we were out eating. We came home after a downpour, and we walked out the backyard, and it was a surprise. It was a swamp back here. So I laid down a piece of board after several months of going over these areas to get to my mower and get my mower in the backyard. So I don't know, it just one thing led to another. When we moved in, there were no trees, there was no fence, so everything you see has been put here by us. There is not a single thing here that our hands didn't put in, or our minds didn't think up. So I really want to show you guys, and hopefully you'll like it, and hopefully you can draw some inspiration. But like I said, here in a minute I'll take you down, but I want to turn this around and I'm going to get down on the ground and kind of guide you guys through why this actually happened. I think it's interesting, and it's a good story. So that being said, we'll go ahead and start. I appreciate your time. All right, so as you can see, this is the backyard in its totality. Everything I said before has been created, thunked up, whatever you want to say, by myself. And yeah, here we are. See, I fed the fish in between, and the Japanese maple's in the way, but they are happy now. Got some koi and some basic goldfish, got some minnows. We got some really big monstrous bullfrogs. Yeah, you got it all over there. So anyways, like I was saying, this fence here wasn't here. That pond, not here. That dock, not here. That gazebo, not here. That fence back there, not here. That shed, not here. The trees were not here. Hopefully this isn't going too fast. But yes, all this we moved here about 7 years ago, so roughly within the last 5, maybe 6, I believe. Those 2 trees were planted first. That one planted there at the same time. So anyways, I am going to walk you guys down there and tell you and explain to you the story behind what transpired with all this rain. So all of these houses, one last time, that house, 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 all drain into that spot back there behind the house, or behind the fence. Well, this all slopes towards the house. The previous owners brought in dirt and truckloads of dirt because there was no fence, so they were able to bring in all this dirt. Well, they sloped it towards the house. Don't ask me why. Did not know that, otherwise we would not be living here. And like I said, I'll prop up some photos. It is a wild story, and when you see the photos, you'll see. I was just thankful it didn't come in the house, otherwise there would have been some issues. Anyways, I'll walk you down there and give you a little tour. Okay, so let's begin. That is east facing, that is north, and this is how it began. Let's take a look. So that is called a moon gate, traditionally in Japanese gardens. And yeah, that is, I gotta tell you guys, that's sexy. I love it. And then when you walk underneath, I am inspired by Japanese gardens. I love them, but I also like my own style too. So that, the moon gate, the creek, the dock, the pond, the Japanese maples of different brands, and I'll go through all that. Those are all inspirations that I've picked up. There's another Japanese maple that I've picked up over the years from Japanese gardens. So I have to show you this deck, or pardon me, this bridge was the piece of board that originally started all. When I'd come through this backyard, this was all grass, but it was a low spot. So every day when we came in and it rained, the water would rush this way. It would carry itself out along that drain back there. So I had to learn over the years that it wasn't going to work no matter what we did. Oh, look at the blue jay. Oh, dang. So anyways, this is a dry creek. I have friends or family go, well, why don't you fill that in with water? Why don't you do something, a water feature there? This thing is my savior. It drains the water completely out of the yard. So this is kind of my last stance before it leaves out under that bridge. that deck is hollow underneath. It allows the water to drain out. This creek I put in here, and you can see it's a little mucky because the water still rushes in there, but usually that's crystal clear. But we've had about 6 inches in the last couple weeks. But this will all fill up with water. It will come around here and drain out under there. So the water comes from the backside all along there, rushes under here, follows its way out. Much to my surprise, when I first moved here, we didn't know about all that water. Well, this has helped out tremendously. So, yeah, so that's the story. That's how that all happened. Now, come behind here. So the water all comes rushing in through here. So I thought I fixed it, right? Well, one day I come out here, we put the pond in, and I'll be darned if the water doesn't cover the entire pond, rocks and all. So I had to rebuild this last spring, because every time it rained, the water would rush out over these rocks and all the fish would get out. Well, the fish followed the stream, so they would follow it down to a dry creek. So if that dry creek ended up dry before I got home, before I woke up, whenever the storm came, I was without fish. They would just die. I know it's horrible, but that's the story. Pond is a little murky right now because the water still rushes over the rocks, but the rocks now keep the fish in. There is really no way for them to get out now. The water will seep through the rocks before it will fill up. And now I have a really good handle on it. We don't back up at all of water. But this is my view whenever I would like, and I think it's awesome. So yeah, that's how this all came about. It wasn't an idea of, hey, I want to create a really nice area to sit. Oh, I think I'll just continue. Nope. It was out of necessity. So that's the story. So, like I told you up there, the water rushes down this hill because it's a higher spot. In fact, if you look back there, you can see the fence go down. Yeah, it's because the ground raises right here, so all that water rushes back towards the house. Well, in June and July, I lost all my grass that was over this way because the humidity would be so high, the fungus would attach itself, and before I knew it, I had brown spots everywhere. So I created this little area to where the water could drain out. So you can still see where I mowed, there's mud lines. That's just because we've had, like I said, 6-7 inches of rain, and it traditionally don't do that, but hey, Mother Nature's given us a little bit more this year. So I created this area so that the water would rush out that area, wrap around, and follow its way under that dock right there, and then continue on its process. So you can see now the idea was for the water to go, and now it is. And you might say, well, that guy needs the weed. No, I like that. I've said this before, I like areas of imperfections, and that's what that is. That looks more natural than if I just went out here and weed eated everything. I like some imperfections. I like mystery. but that water just goes under there. And unless you get real low, you just have an idea that there's an arch there with water in it. There's a story behind everything. Anyways, I thought I'd take you along how this all happened. Iris are blooming. Oh, see, I get distracted. Some are going out. Most of them are going out. These will all be moving. All these will be moving because that bad boy, the tiger's eye, is going to need all the space it can get. And so I'll just move them out. There's some more back there. They're going out. Let me see if I can get you into there. There's a stepping area around there, but that's for another day. I don't want to waste much more of your time, but I just wanted to introduce myself and kind of give you an idea of how this all came about. Anyways, if you like what I've shown you and whatnot, leave a comment, subscribe, tell your friends. We'll just continue to do this, and hopefully we'll get better as we go along. Again, I appreciate everybody's kind words, and I think it's great to share with each other our ideas and whatnot. So that being said, I'm going to go ahead and turn this over, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye bye, friends.